can assure us Zambians are not disenchanted.
We think that the kind of development that we want should only be sourced from people we think are investors.
Zambians are not cowards. We have a duty to put our back first and avoid these little ones being crushed by the weight. Zambians are not disillusioned.
I had the privilege to visit one of my colleagues at a farm, and I was treated to this cool drink. This is tamarind drink, or popularly known Kawawashi drink.
Whatever it is that we want is already within us.
They have said people perish because of lack of knowledge.
Zambians are mighty, and when we rise together as Zambians unite to bring this country out of the bondage of mediocrity and to put us up there at the pedestal, we can make this Zambia a beacon for Africa. And we will look at Zambia Shamago about how great as we rise it like our noble eagle.
Wherever I want to go, only our feet shall take us there.
Wherever we want to go, our feet shall take us there. If we keep doing the same thing over and over, and we expect that peradventure one day the results will be different, then we are doomed for a very long process of repetitions with the results being the same. I feel as a country we have tried some things in a certain way, and it is time we started reconsidering how we do some things. Because if we start just sluggishly believing and hoping for miracles, we'll waste a lot of time, because the real miracle that there is to be able to deliver what is impossible to become possible. Thus, it makes me believe that at this stage where we have reached as a country, as persons and as individuals, as organizations, is for us to start cultivating a hope that refuses to die. There is some hope that people hope for things, and when those things don't happen, they throw in the towel and they give up. But I'm inviting us to reach a moment when we start believing, even when there seems to be no reason to believe, but we believe, because if we have hope, hope is able to grow enough to start moving mountains. I remember vividly a time when I was just a young boy and I was a president for the Copperbelt University Students Union, and during my tenure of office, that is in 2009, the government then decided to cut off bursary scheme in stages. And there was this meeting when it was discussed in Siavonga and concluded, and there were PSS. And in that meeting, for once, I met people that were advocating, saying we need to remove this kind of sponsorship that comes from government to help those people who are not able to sponsor themselves in colleges, because it was just being a burden on government. Their claim was that if somebody can have children, they should be able to pay for them. I remember I stood up in that meeting and said, how many of you professors have done your school because your parents sponsored you? And they couldn't say much, because almost all of them were sponsored by the state, and they got to those places. But when they got there and they've got money, they forgot how they got there, because they've got the capacity to sponsor for their children. They have forgotten that there are people who are in the shoes that their parents wear. And that's why we put in a government, so that it can do those things that we can't do as individuals. By bringing up a government, we are simply saying we are putting collective efforts together to help us rise again. But people forget when they get to the top. And it is when people are at the top and they are forgotten we need to have a hope that refuses to die. Even when we are brushed aside, we need to be vigilant, we need to be believing and knowing that when all things can happen, we should know that wherever we want to go, only our feet shall take us there. I remember an instance. I was just a young man and the president for students at the Copperbelt University in 2009, and during that time when government removed the bursary scheme in stages, that year they implemented it, and over 1,000 students, 1,500 were denied the privilege to have the sponsorship, despite them coming from families that are not privileged, despite them having qualified highly to go into university. They were just chased home like that. And I was a sitting president, and I was a president for a university, which is quite a small position in the country like this one, where there are so many authorities. And it was at that moment that I realized that my voice alone was not enough. So I started to take on the burden, and for once I said to say, there's a message I need to take to the head of state. If I go to the radios, it won't make sense. I need to go and see him myself. But how was I going to do that? How was I even be allowed that they get? I meant to find myself in a situation where my hope, my passion will get to him without me actually getting to him. Because what needed to reach him was not my face, but was my voice, was my message, was the message for the thousands that are disprivileged and denied an opportunity to become better people in society by being disprivileged, a chance to be in the university. So I started to put in a hunger strike. I said I will not eat until government does something. I went to the city of Kitwe and tied myself to the Statue of Liberty, Freedom statue there, and started waiting on government to respond. I stayed there for a day, for two. The government authorities with the state police came and removed me and threatened me, you can't stay here, you are causing confusion, and I was taken back to the university. At least I had gotten some media coverage, but the status quo had remained. I had birthed in me a hope that although I was small, I was going to be part of the people that will move a paradigm shift and hope some of the things that ain't fine be smoothed up. They blocked me because I was ready to go for weeks without eating. Well, if they weren't going to move, I was hoping to even go for months till they moved. But there I was cut off and told to go back home. And they said, if you come back in town, we'll punish you. I remember the following day, I started a long protesting walk. I said, okay, then I'll walk to Lusaka and meet the president. It was a stupid idea. It didn't make sense. It still doesn't make sense to a lot of people. And when I started walking, I remember people were making fun. It was in the media. That is 2009 March. It was in media. People saying, no, the university student president is walking, claiming that government should put back the bursary. Who does he think he is? And I remember there's a gentleman, some politician, Mulusa or something like that, Kalusa. I can't remember the name quite well. He went to the media and told them that let that boy stop walking because the allowance they will eat him. You know, I got the newspaper when I was walking, and I was walking slowly, day by day, step by step. On day one, I was ignored because everybody thought I was going to give up. On day two, I could see the media houses, Times of Zambia Post, they followed me. I had walked then, I'd reached Luansha. There's a shortcut, I was walking there. On my first day, I slept at an orphanage. On day two, I started walking further. I was given some food to eat. On the way, people were stopping to give me lift. I refused because I knew what was important was not to get to Lusaka, but to send a message that our problems are real, and government, if some people who are in government are comfortable, they should know that there are people who are not comfortable out there. There are people who need to be helped, because I was such kind that couldn't afford to be in the university. But there I was in the final year through government sponsorship, and here I am, I'm helping. So I knew if more people were given the privileges I had, it would be a better nation. On day 3 of walking on foot from 05 to 20 hours and sleeping in the bush and in trees, I saw the heavens open. I received a phone call that the president had heard my cry. Then it was Mr. Rupia Banda, and they had rescinded the decision to cut off bursary. I had walked then, I had even reached Kapiri. My legs were swollen, but along it all, there were moments I would feel so drained. I would feel so tired. I would say, why am I doing this? There were people who would meet me, discourage me. They would beg me at least to get in their car. But I knew as long as I was on that road, taking one step at a time, we were sowing seeds to take this country higher and mightier, because the solutions that this country needs cannot be borrowed from China, cannot be borrowed from the US, but they are ones that should be birthed from the passion emanating from ourselves, sacrificing ourselves and pushing this country somewhere. Trust me, we will remain impoverished and poor if we sit and beg. No one in the world has ever been made better by begging. The people that are liberated themselves when they were standing on their feet. They did not sit begging. No one ever becomes. So I kept walking, and because of that walk, I meet a lot of people that tell me, say, you know, had you not taken up that walk and bursaries, sponsorship restored back to us, we couldn't be where we are. I meet managers, and it gives me joy. So if that one decision can bring so much change to this country, then I'm inviting us, wherever we are in this country, to start applying ourselves and take this as a personal project to make this country better. We are one Zambia, one nation, but let us not allow mediocrity, let us not allow corruption. When you see something wrong, speak up, move a voice. Stand your ground when you're being persecuted for something that isn't right, because the hope that we need is not for wimps. It is something we have to face with passion and confidence. And we should always remember, when all is said and done, it all boils down to us. And I'm making this earnest appeal and invitation to you that do not despise whatever is within your hands, because wherever I want to go, only our feet shall take us there. Whether you're doing a small business and doesn't seem to have much ahead of it, pour in it the passion that refuses to die, and it will get you there. Whether in a school and your grades seem not to be fine, you don't know where you get your money for the next semester, believe, put in your passion, and your feet shall take you there. Whether you're in an illness and it is draining you and making you just bones and you feel there is no hope, I invite you to have the hope that refuses to die. This is a time we have, and this is our last and only chance we have a shot at this country. Let us not fall back and watch the best moments pass. This is a time we need to apply ourselves and believe that wherever I want to go, on your feet shall take us there.